Amanda had lived in the Eugene mansion for as long as she could remember. Big house, plenty of food and expensive clothes. People on the outside thought she was lucky. But the truth was that Amanda always felt like she didn't belong there. Like the life she was living wasn't really hers. Her parents never treated her like she was part of them. Madame Eugene only spoke to her when she wanted her to sit properly or smile in public. Chief Eugene barely even looked at her. And their real son, Kelvin, acted like Amanda was just a visitor who had stayed too long. At night, she would lie down and stare at the ceiling, asking herself the same question over and over. Who am I really? Amanda turned 17 on a Sunday. She waited all morning, expecting someone to wish her happy birthday, but there was nothing. Not even a card. Not even a "how are you?" She ate breakfast alone in the dining room while the rest of the family went to church. Nobody said a word. Later that day, she asked the housemaid Esther. Did they forget, or they just don't care? Esther looked uncomfortable. Maybe they're busy, she said, then quickly left the room. Amanda went upstairs and opened one of the old family albums. Page after page of weddings, baby pictures, vacations, but not a single photo of her before age 6. Not one. It was like her life before that just didn't exist. That same week, while picking up laundry, Amanda saw a strange man standing across the road, staring right at her. He had a burn scar on his face and wore a tattered cap. When their eyes met, he mouthed something. Your name is Cynthia. Amanda's heart stopped. What did you say? She called out, stepping closer. But the man had already disappeared into the crowd. She looked around, trying to spot him again, but he was gone. That night, she couldn't sleep. That name, Cynthia, felt familiar. Not just familiar. It felt like it belonged to her. The next morning, Amanda cornered Esther in the kitchen. Esther, please, she begged. Was my name Cynthia before I came here? Esther looked like she'd seen a ghost. She shook her head at first, then sighed and said, I don't know everything, but I know you weren't adopted. One night they brought you in, crying for your mama. I was just a junior maid then. They said not to ask questions. So I didn't. Amanda sat down, shocked. Her eyes burned. So they stole me? Esther looked down. I don't know. All I know is, you were not born into this family. Amanda felt like her chest was cracking open. All those times she felt different. All those unanswered questions. She hadn't been crazy. She'd been right. That evening, Amanda couldn't sit still. She searched her entire room, trying to find anything from her past. Under her bed, behind an old suitcase, she found a wooden box. It was dusty and wrapped in a faded scarf. Inside, there was a tiny silver anklet and a torn piece of paper. On the paper, in shaky handwriting, were the words, Cynthia Daniels. Amanda just stared at it. The name, the anklet. It felt like someone had finally handed her a piece of herself. A piece she didn't even know was missing. She held the anklet close, tears running down her cheeks. This wasn't just some mistake. She had a real name, a real past, and a real family out there. Now she had to find them. Amanda couldn't sleep that night. She kept holding the anklet and the torn paper like it was the only thing keeping her grounded. By morning, she had made up her mind she needed answers. Real answers. She looked at the back of the paper again, and this time she noticed faint writing, a phone number half-faded. Her heart started beating fast. She grabbed her phone and dialed. It rang once, twice, and then someone picked up. Hello, a tired female voice said. Amanda didn't know what to say. Her throat went dry. Hello. Please, who am I speaking with? The woman sounded cautious. You called me. Who are you? Amanda froze. Her lips trembled. I think you might know me. My name is, or maybe was, Cynthia. There was silence. Then the woman whispered, Jesus. Cynthia? Is this a joke? Who are you? Amanda hung up. She couldn't do it. Her hands were shaking too much. But deep inside her, she knew. Whoever that woman was, she wasn't a stranger. The next Saturday, Amanda followed Madame Eugene to the market. While they waited for the driver to get fuel, Amanda stepped into a nearby kiosk to buy water. The woman selling drinks stared at her too long. Wait, your face, you look like Mama Peace's missing daughter, she said. Amanda's chest tightened. Who is Mama Peace? She used to sell bean cakes in the next village. Her daughter was taken years ago. You, the woman leaned in. You look like that child. Same eyes, same face. Amanda walked away quickly, the bottle of water still in her hand. Her hands were cold. Was this how it felt when your life started falling into place? Bit by bit, Strangers were confirming the truth she had always felt deep down. She wasn't born Amanda Eugene. She was someone else, someone stolen. Amanda waited until Sunday evening when Madame Eugene was alone in her sitting room, watching a church program. She stood by the doorway, heart pounding. "Who am I really?" Amanda asked, her voice calm but firm. Madame looked up slowly. "What kind of stupid question is that?" "I found the box, the anklet, the name Cynthia and the phone number." For the first time ever, Madame looked shaken. She turned off the TV and leaned forward. "Listen to me. You're here now. That's all that matters. You have a good life." Amanda's lips quivered. "So it's true." Madame didn't reply. She just said, "Be careful what you dig up. Some truths can't be undone." Amanda walked out, blinking back tears. She had just confirmed everything without a single proper answer. And for her, that was enough. She found the courage to call the number again. This time she spoke. "My name is Amanda, but I think I was born Cynthia Daniels. I found your number on a piece of paper in a box under my bed." There was silence. Then the woman started crying softly. "This is peace," the woman said. "My daughter was taken when she was 5, right from our compound. I've waited for this call for 12 years. Amanda couldn't speak. Her throat tightened as tears rolled down her cheeks. "Where are you?" the woman asked. Amanda hesitated. "Ikoyi with the Eugenis." More silence. "I always knew they had something to do with it. Please come see me. I just want to hold you again." Amanda nodded, even though she knew the woman couldn't see her. "I'll come. I need to know who I really am." Amanda went into Chief Eugene's office the next morning. He was out, but she had learned how to move quietly. She opened his bottom drawer and found a brown envelope labeled Cynthia Daniels. Inside were old documents. A birth certificate, a photo of a younger Amanda, standing beside a crying woman. And at the bottom, a signed agreement. They had paid $1.5 million for her. Amanda's hands trembled as she read the words over and over. It wasn't adoption. It wasn't kindness. She was bought. Sold like a car or a bag of rice. Her whole life had been built on a transaction. She left the office quietly. Something inside her had broken. She wasn't just going to find her real mother. She was going to reclaim her real life. Amanda sat with Esther again, this time not begging but demanding. "I want to know everything. How did I end up here?" Esther sighed, rubbed her palms together, and said, "Years ago, Madame told me you were brought by a woman who said she found you crying by the roadside. But that woman, she came more than once. I overheard Madame say they paid her." Amanda blinked. "So I wasn't adopted. I was taken." Esther nodded slowly. "I think you were kidnapped and brought here by that woman. Madame didn't ask questions. Chief gave her money and told us not to talk. You were crying every night for your mother." Amanda pressed her hand against her chest. She remembered the nightmares, the sudden fear of loud noises. She always thought she was just a sensitive child. But now it made sense. She had been taken from her real home. From her real mother. Amanda didn't know Kelvin was standing by the kitchen door when Esther told her the truth. Later that night, he knocked on her door for the first time ever. "I heard what Esther said," he began. "And I believe you." Amanda narrowed her eyes. "Why should I care?" Kelvin looked guilty, but then he replied, "Because I used to treat you badly. But I always suspected something was off. You never had a baby picture here. Never called them mom or dad. They only brought you when I was 6, and they just said you were our new sister." But nobody explained anything. Amanda's walls were still up, but something in his voice felt real. "So what now? What should I do?" she asked. Kelvin shrugged. "Now, you need to get out. They'll try to stop you." Amanda stared at him. "Are you saying you'll help me?" Kelvin nodded. "I think it's time you found your real family." The next day, Amanda packed only the things that truly mattered, the anklet, the photo, and the brown envelope with the truth. Kelvin gave her spare key to the side gate and told her the security man usually slept off by midnight. "Once you leave, don't come back," he warned. "They'll be angry. But you're not safe here anymore." Amanda felt a mix of fear and hope. For years, this mansion had been a cage, beautiful but cold. She had cried quietly in her room so many times, wondering who she was. Now, she was finally walking toward the answer. By 12:30 a.m., she slipped out of the house. Her heart was pounding so hard it felt like it might explode. She didn't look back. Not even once. Amanda arrived at Nsukka by afternoon. As soon as she stepped down from the bus, an old woman selling roasted corn gasped. "Huh, is this not Peace's daughter?" Amanda's mouth fell open. You know me? The woman nodded. You were kidnapped years ago. Your mother nearly ran mad. This face, we all remember it. Amanda's eyes filled with tears. The woman took her by the hand and walked her down a dusty road, past small houses and mango trees, until they got to a small compound. Stay here. Let me call Mama Peace. When the woman came out, Amanda saw her. The same eyes and the same cheekbones. A woman whose soul looked tired, but whose heart hadn't given up. When Mama Peace saw Amanda, she didn't scream. She just stood still, like her body forgot how to move. Then slowly, she came forward and touched Amanda's face with both hands, shaking. My baby. Cynthia, is it really you? She whispered. Amanda nodded, crying openly now. I don't remember much, but I feel it. I feel like this is where I belong. Mama Peace dropped to her knees and cried the way only a mother who has suffered can cry. Neighbors gathered, some joining in the tears, some whispering, she's back. Mama Peace's daughter is finally back. Amanda knelt beside her and held her tightly. For the first time in her life, she felt what love really looked like. It wasn't expensive clothes or fancy schools. It was this, being held like you mattered. Amanda had been settling into life in Succa. Mama Peace was loving, gentle, and full of warmth. But there was one thing Amanda couldn't shake, a face, a man's face. She had started seeing it in her dreams since returning. It wasn't Chief Eugene. This face had soft eyes, a big smile, and a scar across his left cheek. Amanda didn't know who he was, but deep down, she felt he mattered. She sketched him out on paper one day and showed it to Mama Peace. Mama Peace stared at the drawing for a long time. Her eyes welled up. Amanda, this man used to live 2 compounds away. His name is Sunday. He disappeared around the same time you were kidnapped. Amanda's heart jumped. You think he had something to do with it? Mama Peace shook her head. No. But he was the one who reported seeing a strange woman carrying a crying child that night. Then days later, he vanished too. Amanda and Mama Peace sat outside under the mango tree that evening. Amanda pressed gently. Why haven't you ever told me about this man? Mama Peace hesitated. Because I wasn't sure he was real. People said I imagined him. That my grief made up stories. Amanda leaned forward. But I drew him without ever meeting him. That means he was real. Which means he saw something that night. Mama Peace nodded slowly. Sunday was kind. He used to carry you on his back. He said he saw a woman carrying a child wrapped in blue. You were wearing blue that day. Amanda's fingers tightened around the drawing. Then whoever took me must have known Sunday. Just when Amanda thought the past was buried, she got a call from an unknown number. It was Esther, the maid from the Eugene house. They know you left, Esther whispered. Chief has been shouting. Madam's been crying. And Kelvin, he's missing. Amanda's breath caught. Missing? Since when? 2 days now. Right after he asked questions about the woman who brought you. Amanda's stomach flipped. Esther continued. I think Kelvin was getting too close to the truth. And now he's gone. Amanda stared at the wall. First Sunday, now Kelvin. Every time someone tried to uncover the truth about her kidnapping, they disappeared. Amanda couldn't sleep that night. Something about Sunday's face haunted her. She kept staring at the drawing, feeling like she had seen it somewhere else, somewhere outside of her dreams. Then it clicked. She rushed to the brown envelope, the one with all the old documents Esther had given her before she left. Inside was a blurry photo of the woman who dropped her off at the Eugene house. Behind her, half hidden in the shadows, was a man. Amanda looked closely. Same smile, same scar. Same man. Sunday was there, she whispered. He was with the woman who took me. Amanda didn't sleep at all. The next morning, she took the photo to a local elder who used to be in the town council back in the day. He squinted at it and nodded. That's Sunday, all right. He used to work as a driver. But he got into trouble. He owed people money. Amanda's heart dropped. You're saying he helped kidnap me? The man looked at her sadly. I'm saying people do strange things when they're desperate. He was arrested for something small, but released 2 weeks before your disappearance. Amanda held the photo tight. This man she thought had saved her might have betrayed her. Her childhood had been stolen by people who were supposed to protect her. Now, she had to find out if Sunday was still alive and why he did it. Amanda couldn't sit still. She had to find Sunday. She had to know the truth. She told Mama Peace about everything she'd discovered. I need to find him, Amanda said, her voice steady but urgent. If he was there when I was kidnapped, he knows something. Mama Peace didn't look surprised. I've heard whispers over the years. Some say Sunday took money from bad people to help them. But that's all anyone knew. Amanda's heart raced. With that, Amanda made up her mind. She would search for Sunday, no matter how long it took. She packed a small bag, hugged Mom a piece, and promised she'd be back soon. But there was no telling when the answers would come. Amanda took a bus to the village where Sunday had lived. She found his old house, now abandoned, its roof half collapsed. The door was open, and a strange smell hung in the air. Inside, a neighbor watched her from the corner, a pipe between his teeth. Amanda walked up cautiously. "Do you know where Sunday went? I need to find him." The man grunted and looked her up and down. "Sunday disappeared after he was fired. But there's a man in the city. People say he knows about Sunday's past. I can take you there. For a price." Amanda was used to people asking for money, but she couldn't afford to waste time. She handed him the little she had left. "Take me there." They traveled to the city together. The streets were crowded, the air thick with the smell of food and exhaust. The man led Amanda to a small cafe tucked between two high-rise buildings. Inside sat an older man, bald with thick glasses, scribbling on a notebook. The man looked up when they entered. "What do you want with Sunday?" Amanda didn't hesitate. "I need to know where he went. Why he was part of my kidnapping." The older man set his pen down slowly. "You're brave, asking about him. Not many people do anymore. But Sunday, he's not what you think. He didn't kidnap you for money. He was running from something much worse." Amanda felt a knot in her stomach. "What do you mean?" The man leaned forward. "Sunday got caught up with some dangerous people. They promised him money if he helped them get a child into that house. But what they really wanted was to use you. You weren't the only one they targeted." Amanda's blood ran cold. "What do you mean? Who were they?" The older man took a deep breath. "They wanted a child from a poor background. Someone easy to replace. You weren't just kidnapped for ransom. You were taken to cover up something bigger. There were others before you." Amanda's mind raced. There were others? How many? The man's words haunted Amanda. If she wasn't the only one taken, then who else had been stolen? The man continued to explain that Sunday had tried to back out. He didn't want to hurt anyone, but the people involved threatened him and his family. "They didn't care about you, Amanda," the man said softly. "You were a pawn, nothing more." Amanda's chest tightened. All these years, she had blamed herself. She had thought that her life didn't matter. But now she knew the truth. She wasn't just a victim of kidnapping. She was a victim of a much darker plan. "I need to find Sunday," Amanda whispered. "I need to hear it from him." The older man nodded. "I'll help you. But you should know he's gone into hiding. And he's not the same man he was. He's afraid of what they'll do if he talks." Amanda didn't want to believe it, but the older man's words stuck with her. She found a way to track down Sunday. He had been hiding under a new name, trying to escape the people who used him. When she finally found him, he didn't look like the man she remembered. His eyes were tired, filled with guilt, and he was living in a rundown apartment on the edge of the city. "Sunday," Amanda started, her voice trembling. "I need to know the truth. Why did you do it? Why did you help them?" Sunday looked away, clearly ashamed. "I never wanted to hurt anyone. They said I could protect my family if I did what they asked. They told me you wouldn't even remember." Amanda stepped closer. "Who were they? What did they want?" Sunday took a long breath. "I didn't know then, but I do now. They wanted a child from the streets. Someone with no family to come looking for them. But what they really wanted wasn't just a child. They wanted to control your future. And they're still out there watching." Amanda's blood ran cold. "Are you telling me my kidnapping wasn't a random act? It was planned?" Sunday nodded slowly. "Yes. And I regret it every day. But there's more, Amanda. They didn't just want you. They were after someone else, too." Amanda's heart stopped. "Who?" Sunday's eyes filled with tears. "They were after your real mother." Amanda's heart raced as she walked through the busy streets of the city. The weight of the truth about Sunday was still heavy on her chest, but now it was time to face the real question. Who was behind her kidnapping? Who had orchestrated this twisted game, and why? After gathering the information from Sunday and the man in the cafe, she knew she had to go straight to the source. The man who had ties to the underworld, the one who seemed to be connected to everything. Mr. Richard. With determination, Amanda took a taxi to his office. It was in one of the tallest buildings in the city, a glass and steel tower that towered above the crowded streets. She had one goal in mind: answers. Amanda stood in front of the building, her pulse quickening. She had no idea what to expect. Would he deny everything? Or would he reveal more than she wanted to know? She stepped into the lobby, where sleek marble floors gleamed beneath her feet. After a quick exchange with the receptionist, Amanda was escorted to a large, imposing office on the top floor. Mr. Richard was standing by the window when she entered, looking out at the skyline. He didn't turn around at first. "I was wondering when you'd show up," he said, his voice low and calm. Amanda didn't waste any time. "I need answers. You were behind my kidnapping." "Why?" He turned slowly, his expression unreadable. "I don't know what you think you know, but you're barking up the wrong tree." Amanda didn't flinch. "You don't scare me. Who hired you? What did you do to my real mother?" For a long moment, Mr. Richard just stared at her, sizing her up. Finally, he spoke. "You really want to know the truth?" "Yes," Amanda said, her voice steady. "I do." He sighed deeply, walked over to his desk, and sat down. "It's not as simple as you think. There are people you don't know about, people who have their hands in everything. And they wanted you." Amanda felt her stomach twist. "Why? What was so special about me?" He leaned forward, his voice dropping. "It wasn't about you. It was about your mother. She was the target. We had to make sure she couldn't expose the truth. Your kidnapping was just a way to keep her quiet." Amanda's blood ran cold. "What truth? What do you mean?" Mr. Richard hesitated, and then finally spoke, his voice heavy with regret. "She was involved in a deal that went wrong. Your mother knew too much. She was supposed to disappear quietly. We had to keep her away from everyone, including you." Amanda felt as though the ground was falling out from under her. She tried to steady herself. "What kind of deal? Who was she working for?" Mr. Richard didn't meet her eyes. "It was a business deal, one that went south. Your mother was never supposed to get involved. But she got too close to something that could bring down powerful people. We couldn't let that happen." Amanda's mind raced. "So, you kidnapped me to silence her?" "Yes," Mr. Richard admitted. "But it wasn't just you. There were others, children from different families, all taken to keep people from asking questions. Your mother was the key." Amanda felt a cold rage rising inside her. "So, you and your people thought you could just take us, erase our lives, and walk away?" "It wasn't personal," Mr. Richard said quietly. "We were doing what we were told." "By who?" Amanda pressed. Mr. Richard looked away, his voice dropping to a whisper. "It's too late. The people who called the shots, they don't leave loose ends. They won't let you get too close." Amanda's mind was a whirlwind. She didn't know who to trust anymore, but she had to find her mother. The time had come to confront the woman who had given birth to her, who had never been there, who had been forced to stay away for all these years. With the limited information she had from Mr. Richard, Amanda found the place where her mother was hiding. It was a small, modest house on the outskirts of the city. There was no grandeur here, no sign of the woman who had been forced into hiding. It felt like a life lived in the shadows. She knocked on the door, her heart pounding in her chest. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the door creaked open, and there she was. "Amanda!" Her mother's voice was barely a whisper. Amanda stood frozen. The woman before her was older than she had imagined, worn down by years of fear and secrecy. But her eyes were still full of love, and for the first time, Amanda saw the woman who had given her life. "I'm sorry," her mother said, tears welling up in her eyes. "I never wanted to leave you. But they wouldn't let me." Amanda stepped forward, her heart breaking. "I don't understand. What happened? Why didn't you come for me?" Her mother's voice trembled. "I tried. I really did. But they kept me away from you. They said I could never be near you again. They controlled everything. They made me disappear." Amanda reached out, touching her mother's hand. For a moment, it felt like no time had passed at all. All the pain, all the unanswered questions seemed to melt away. "You're here now," Amanda whispered, "and that's all that matters." The reunion was overwhelming, full of emotions that neither of them had been able to express over the years. Amanda learned the depth of the conspiracy, how her kidnapping was part of a much bigger scheme to silence those who knew too much about corrupt dealings and dangerous people. The pain was still there, but now there was something more: hope. Together, Amanda and her mother knew they had a long road ahead. They would fight to uncover the truth, but they also knew they had each other. And in the end, that was what mattered most.